This is a stick clip, allowing you to clip a bolt above your head. But I had a question that only a pro climber who has done sketchy stuff before could answer. Are stick clips cheating?
No, I'm total. There was a period of time where I used to make fun of people with stick clips, but I'm over that now. Now I'm totally into it.
How old are you?
I'm 46.
That's why.
Yeah. Have you seen people now? They use the selfie sticks and they clip them to them.
Yeah.
I'm even into that. It's totally fine. Sport climbing shouldn't be about being dangerous.
What should be?
I mean, trad climbing is more about being dangerous.
Okay.
I feel like ethically trying to make sport climbing more dangerous is just kind of dumb.
Do you think it's cheating?
A stick clip?
Yeah.
Nope. I like the one ankle I have that's still good.
I've got 7 ways to not break your ankle here. And I like to push the limits of gear. And so I want to push the limits of what you consider cheating is. That looks good. I just got home from Awa, Tonga, which is in the middle of the Pacific. And we rappelled into this jungle, only accessible as a climber. I explored a cave and went to this beach that less than 100 locals probably have ever been down to. And being so remote, and with no search and rescue to be called, and with a bum left shoulder, this is how I climbed. This is the Metolius stick clip, and I find the easiest way to lead climb is with the rope above me. Oh yeah. There we go. You can take the 2 most expensive stick clips out there and combine them by taking off that and putting on a Pongoose head. That is sick. Wow, that is so ridiculous. It is risky stick clipping all the way to the top. Here, hand this to me when I get up there. Brought your rope gun, I brought mine. Wow, I really like this. Take! Using a stick clip has additional risks associated with it, like propelling back to the ground. Oh, it's so awkward. Nailed it. That was fun.
Yeah?
My adrenaline was up here. Who's next? Oh, you're the only other person on this side of the island. Here you go. It's probably not something I should be proud of, but I have become a stick clip connoisseur. And I have put together this spreadsheet with all the information that I weighed and measured myself to verify that the information is correct. Not all of it was. So you can understand the differences. There are 4 things that you need to do with a stick clip. You need to be able to put the quick draw on the bolt. And if the quick draw is permanent, you need to be able to put your rope inside of the bottom of it. And if you can't make it to the top, you need to be able to remove the quick draw from the bolt. And if you are successful getting to the top, you need to be able to pull the rope down above the quick draw so that you don't have to re-stick clip it for the next person. Now, I might be biased, but I don't think stick clipping is cheating. You can push your grades if you can climb them first before committing to leading them. The option that I had for years was to climb an easy route that was next to a hard route that I could reach the anchors of and top rope the next one. So if you are a new climber or an unconfident leader, then you could use a stick clip to kind of cheat, as I did in Awa, to get myself all the way to the top. Also, I can't put any weight on my left arm, so that does make it a little bit trickier. Still enjoy climbing, even if you don't want to lead. I like that part. Now, my favorite stick clip weighs nothing, takes up no room in my bag, and can reach any bolt, no matter how high it is, and even works on cams. And that is a friend who climbs harder than you and is willing to lead every pitch, which is what Brent from Avant did with me when we made the Fix and Follow episode. And I really enjoyed that climbing day because I love, apparently, to have the rope above my head. Now, we are not giving away a stick clip in this episode. We are giving away a climbing day with Brent and myself and $1,000 of travel expenses that if you don't use all of it, the remainder is given to you as a gift card to the store to celebrate the 100th email newsletter that I've put out in a row because I do that every Saturday. And at the bottom of those has a giveaway. And so we wanted this giveaway to be a big special one. Step 1 is to get the newsletter at hownoto.com/signup. Step 2 is scroll to the bottom and click the button that says enter to win. It is simply a Google form that makes sure that the weird niche thing we're giving away that week is going to somebody who really wants it. If you missed this giveaway, there's another one at the bottom of the next Saturday email newsletter. So go sign up. Now we're gonna go into each stick clip, starting with the most expensive one, which is ironically the Metolius one, though Metolius is oftentimes the cheapest option you have in gear. But what makes this special is that it's made out of a composite carbon fiber material that allows it to be rolled up and the best for travel. So yes, it is expensive, but as you can see, it's the one that I use when I travel because I can put it in my bag, no matter how small my bag is. Now, if you look at other 3 meter-ish, 9-ish feet long stick clips, the weight, it's the heaviest. It's the heaviest and most expensive, but it fits in the bag. How it works is it has that little nub in there, and then it has that it has to go in right there. So you line that up, you get it around that button, and then you're going to twist it so that yellow thing keeps it from turning again, which is important. Now, what I like about it is it comes with the painter pull attachment, but also you can take this off and you can put on a camera mount attachment, which is what half of the heads require, and the other half of the heads out there require this. So you can put on any head you want. Now you can buy this super clip separate and put it on any painter pull you want, but this is what this comes with. So let's go try out the 4 things you do with a stick clip. Now this wouldn't be a fair experiment if I was just clipping something at eye level. So don't tell my girlfriend, screw, I'm putting holes in the walls. Good thing I used to be a painter. Let's see if that stick clip works. Now the 3 carabiners I'm testing with each one is a solid gate, a wire gate, and a tiny wire gate. And so this is a little tricky to get on. You can see the dog bone doesn't fit in there, but it doesn't necessarily need to. It goes like this. This is the OG of stick clips, and it's not my favorite one, but once it's on, it works pretty good. And if you have the rope in here, which I like to do, before I go up into here, it goes like this and you can pull it off. So it does work super good enough. It also works on wire gates and it's in there super good enough. And this is the only one that I have found that works with the tiny 19G Edelred carabiners. But if you are climbing with these, what I did when I went to AWA was I did this, and that allowed me to use any of the stick clips that I had. So it just depends. If you're only using this for one, then you only need to change one. Now let's go stick clip this stairs. So I have my carabiner in there, and I put my rope in before I lift it up, and I usually add slack and lift it. So go. So let's see how this works. Okay. That bolt wasn't rated. Wow, I should be wearing my helmet. Who knew I needed an engineer to put it in a stud? I do kind of feel like I need a helmet now. Oh my gosh, so much ease. So you pull that on the rope, duck. Nothing fell. You can tie in now. Take a bite of rope, you stick it in both of those. I think you stick an extra loop in there. And yeah, that is not how you do it.
How not to, right?
Maybe you go the other way? What bothers me is I rehearsed so much of this before I even turned on the camera. Piece of freaking cake. All right. Yes, okay. This one gets 3 stars because that sucked, but it does work. No, yes! Yes, okay, that sucked. So technically there is another way where you set it up like this and you twist and then you continue to twist and that can take it off as well. Now, if I'm done climbing and it's Chase's turn, I don't want to pull the rope down. I have to redo all those shenanigans. So how do I pull the rope down with this one without hose clamping a hook onto this? The only way I found was to create a downward, this is such a hokey pokey way. I created a downward angle there. Now, I love the stick and I hate the head, which is why you saw earlier in the video me using a Pongoose head. Put it between 2 legs and I just push it down. Pro tip, make it as small as you can. Put it in the case and then make it as big as you can, and then you can fit all the heads inside. I was able to fit all those components plus the actual Pongoose head, and it all fit inside of. The next two stick clips based on price are the Pongoose stick clips. And they are 700 and 1000 are the names because they are 700 millimeters and 1000 millimeters when they are collapsed, which is 2-ish feet and 3-ish feet. Now this little guy is in the 3-meter range, which is what the Metolius roll-up stick clip is. And this thing, which comes up to my belly button, does extend up to 14 feet long. Now the attachment at the top is a 1/4 inch by 20 screw, which is a selfie stick. And so this would go on any selfie stick if you wanted this to be a little bit more compact, because there's plenty of selfie sticks, as we'll go over, that are fairly compact and extend out to 9 feet. Now both of their poles have 5 segments and they are nice, but if you want something that is shorter or longer, you can go with the selfie stick or one of those 22-foot long painter poles and get one of those adapters on Amazon that go from painter pole to a camera mount, because that's what this is. So since this is removable, then you can basically do what you want. And I have talked Pongoose into selling these separately in case you intentionally want to go that direction from the get-go. But nice stick, nice head. Let's go try it out. To demo this, I'm gonna take this off there, and you can see that you can go into quick draw mode. You can go in rope mode, or you can go like this in order to pull the rope down. It took me a minute to kind of get used to the idea of this touching the corner here. There's no like gap like you would think it needs, but it doesn't need that. So if I was in the right mode and I could do this, I could clip that, that's it. So that is the way it's supposed to work, which means it works with a full-size wire gate as well. Even though this nose is pointed a lot more down, it still fits. What's nice about the rotation is I can turn this way, and I can turn this way, and I can get into some pretty weird places because it's articulating. What it's not good at, nor any of the other ones, is there's not enough room here for that to go into a hanger. So, nope. 5 stars. The weird looking silicone balls is for it to sit here when I'm pulling the rope against the gate to take this off. This is a 10 millimeter rope and it sits in there like this, and the rope I have on the stairs is 8.6 millimeters. Oh no, my loop's too small. Oh yeah. It works once you get it up in there. I would be concerned about doing this with a giant painter pole. No, no, you don't get 5 stars. Usually you can step further back than this, but hit the head. Yay. I just don't bail. I always make it to the top with my stick clips. Another thing worth mentioning are these 3 brushes. Those are the differences right there. And they have that 1/4 inch thread adapter inside of there. So they would go on any selfie stick, but this is also a 1/4 inch screw right there. And by screwing this onto there, you have it on this articulating head. So once it's on here, you'd be able to reach whatever angle you needed to brush your holds. Next, we have the Trango BetaStick, where the back of the carabiner goes in the groove and this wire holds the gate open. Now the head is fixed to this, and so it does come in 4 sizes, but you better like the pole and the head because they are together forever. And we traveled all the way to Patagonia on the Chile side, and we wanted to also be safe-ish while doing that.
These bolts are reachy.
Now in full-sized luggage, this laid in there diagonally, and so it did work to travel with it because this one compacted to 2.5 feet.
Now high enough off the ground, I might as well be tied in now. Just climb the damn thing.
And another trick with stick clips is to have them everywhere you travel and put them in one video so it looks like you're traveling all the time. Now with this wire gate, I cannot seem to get it to hold that open. But with a normal wire gate, I was able to get that to work. It just doesn't work on one like this. Now with 4 different pole sizes, you don't have to take the head off and put it on a different pole. However, when I used the very long one outside on my tree drop tower, it worked to put the quick draw in the hanger at the top.
I feel safe and I'm not even about to climb.
And to be fair, that's mostly what I do. But if you were trying to put your rope in a permit draw, I was unable to get it to work because when I was really, really close, when I would pull on the tail of the rope, the pole would just bend. Now, I don't know how many poles are not flimsy when they're 22 or 24 feet high. Now, their smallest one, called Climber, terrible name in my opinion, I think it's because you can climb with it, because it goes down to 18 inches, but extends out to 5 feet, which I would be concerned if I was on a route that wasn't overhanging. If I were to fall and this were to hit the rock and jab into me, I am conscious of that when I climb with a stick clip. Be wary of that. Now let's go see if this works if you are much closer to the hanger. Now close up, that is the easiest thing in the world to do. If I'm close, I could even get that to work. I bet I can get any of these to work if I was this close. that would not happen unless I was this close. It looks like I could take this and pull that down, but here is the compact, standard, and ultra in real life, and the climber is ironically smaller than this one. And if you put them in like that, they'd probably fit into a bag. If this works for you, it works for you. Most of these are under $100. I don't think they're heavy personally. I've been using one for years. Now let's talk about the first stick clip I ever owned. This is also sold by Trango, but it does not come with the pole because it works on painter poles. And this is how it works. And it works super good enough. I've used it for a long time. It does not work with the small carabiner. It does work with this wire gate. Now, this is only $32, and whatever pole you want, you don't have to get a big pole. But if you did want a big pole, I did hunt for way too long on Amazon, and I found one for $41 that would take you up to 24 feet and only be 6 feet long, which means you can use it as a hiking pole if you wanted to have something that tall. Otherwise, you can get something pretty compact, or you can buy this for $10 at any store near you. It's a wood stick. We will test this in a minute, but I do want to mention that the Metolius Super Clip is $25 instead of $32, plus the pole. So this one I find easier to use than the Super Clip, but Super Clip has impressed me so far. This is the Rescue Clip, and this is a locking carabiner. That was not too bad. And now you can put that on there. This one securely holds the locker, which I think is the thing rescue people do. You got to be able to pull pretty hard to get it off. But then you have a locker on there if you want that. But we already know how these do. So let's go try the Trango Squid on the stairs. This is losing a lot of stars really fast. This kept hitting the walls, so it took several attempts, but then I did eventually get it. Oh my god. Okay, it's gonna at least get 1 star. Now the Squid has these funny arms that secure the rope in there better than any device. It's way better for permit draws. But there is no support for the carabiner, so I couldn't take it off. Now if I point the arms downward, I can pull the rope down above the last drop. The second cheapest one that we have goes up to 9 feet long, and it gets this small because it's a 3D printed head on a selfie stick. Now the TPU material that they 3D print it with flexes around the carabiner, and I can get a solid gate carabiner and even my wire gates in there if I bend them first. So it holds any full-size carabiner that I'm aware of. Now clipping it is pretty easy. I would give it 5 stars. I've done it a bunch in the wild. But what I can't figure out how to do, mostly because of the pole, is if I take the rope, bite it in there, and I can squeeze it in there, and I can create a loop and I can get fancy with this. The problem is with any selfie stick that you put a head on, is if you pull down and there's resistance, what you end up doing is making your selfie stick collapse. So all the other poles have a twist lock in there and they don't collapse under pressure. This is similar weight and collapsed length as the BetaStick Climber, but the BetaStick Climber only goes 5 feet high, whereas this will go 9 feet high. So I think this is better if you're just trying to clip carabiners to things, but if you're trying to put ropes in permanent carabiners, typically you find permanent draws on really overhanging routes, and I don't often do overhanging routes, and so that's never an issue for me. So it depends where you climb. There is no good and bad stick. It really depends what you're looking for out of a stick. Let's talk about the cheapest stick we have. This is $8. And I found a 3-meter long selfie stick that has the twist lock so it won't collapse when you're pulling the rope. And apparently it's recyclable if you rotate it. It's also invisible. Just don't screw it on violently, thank you. This little adapter that comes with the 8mm bolts that this is attached to can go on any selfie stick you've got. Now this is a little bit wider than the Metolius one, even though it looks very similar, and it will hold the carabiner open. It's just not as open as any of the others. I'm gonna use a Pongoose stick because it's the only pole I have that's long enough with a 1/4-inch thread on top.
Wow, that worked really good.
Whoa, gotta get the loop set just right, but it did work. So I put it through the thing, but I don't want it to come out the bottom. No way. First try. If I pull that outward enough, maybe I can get the rope in there. I don't know if that permanently screws it up. I just opened that up a little bit. Did I ruin it forever? Let's find out. Now that much success could just be the luck of the draw. Get it? But something that drives me nuts with this Climbing Taiwan one is how easy it'll unspin. And so when I was trying to like hook it in there a few times, it would spin up here. It wasn't the pole itself. Easy fix with Teflon tape. It's pretty good for what it is. Maybe my expectations are really low. I still like the Pongoose stick because of the articulating head. It gives me a lot more versatility. I like the Metolius stick clip for travel. I don't like how hard it is to get things on the super clip from Metolius, but I do like how it performs once you do. So if you like to stash a stick clip for just an area that you know exactly how high it is, you can get something like this for 10 bucks. You can get the thing from Climbing Taiwan for 8, or you could do this trick. This is called the free version. That is called a slip knot. And if you pull that tight around the head of a painter pole, very specifically a painter pole it works on, you pull it nice and tight, and you could pull that loop pretty good. See how it sticks out and stays out? That actually has worked fairly well for me in my short tests going around a quick draw to clip my rope to, let's say, a permanent draw. Now, if you can get it to sit just right, if I don't touch it too much, I have a little bit of an opening. That would be challenging to clip a bolt too far above my head. But in theory, it would work, and a little bit of climbing tape might go a long way. Just make sure your carabiner is closed if you're gonna depend your life on it. Don't judge me, this is the most free way to do this. This is a tent pole and leftover cord I had laying around and some climbing tape. And what I use this for is when I'm big walling, I have a way to clip this off to myself, and you need the daisy chain attached to it. And I have it on the back. And if I have to aid climb in style, I can tape a carabiner to the top of the pole, and then I extend it up and delicately clip this crappy head or whatever, or a bolt ideally, when I'm on lead. Because I love having the rope above my head. Now, I don't put my climbing rope in there because if I were to fall, I'm now going to fall twice as far, right? Aid climbing is going to be a different animal. But that's why I have this, and I just climb up the loops that I have. I bring this up only because I've done it dozens of times, but I can tell you right now what I hate about it. If I pull down against it, it's a tent pole. It comes apart when you pull down. It only works if you push. And since I'm not pushing all that much, I'm actually more looking forward to using the Grim Reacher when I'm out aid climbing. And I don't really need to go higher than 9 feet. This puts me up about almost 20, and it gets real flimsy. So there's all sorts of ways to skin this cat. I thought I knew a lot about this before I flailed demoing them all. Please leave helpful comments for people to comb through so they can learn more than I was able to include in this video. Fun fact, these ship weird. The USPS sorting machine doesn't automatically do it, so they do it by hand, and the tracking number doesn't get updated, so it looks like it's sitting there in purgatory, and then after several days of it not moving, magically shows up. So I'm gonna add this spreadsheet, filtered by price, filtered by length, and filtered by weight, all on each stick clip product page. So if you wanna go look at that, you can. If you like deep dives on different categories, we have a nerdy one on all the bolts we have available, and you can go check out that video next. And that has led to all of this stuff from La Paz.